Hello and welcome back to Parkrun Showdown, the series where I run and rate different park runs. Today we are in East Grinstead in West Sussex, a lovely little area near to where I used to grow up. The course is a 3-lapper and scratch score from the Power of 10 website of 6.4, so I am expecting this to be difficult. I have been warned from other family members that have done this that there is a hill which can be a bit of a killer. Weather-wise, nice and cloudy, but there is a high humidity of about 83%, so an absolute sweat box, which is my favourite kind of running, not. So without much further ado, let's crack on. And they're off! Plenty of turnout today, as apparently it was the East Grinstead Runners Takeover. This is where the whole club pretty much turned up to help volunteer and also run the course. Just before the race we were given the newbie talk, and it was explained that there would be 3 laps of the course here today. The first lap, however, would be slightly different to the other 2 laps. I got confused, so I just decided to follow the people in front of me and hope to God that they actually knew what they were doing. Watching this back, I'm looking at the speed that I'm running. I'm thinking, Tom, what are you doing? Have you not learned your lesson? As per the last few runs I've done, I have started off way too quick and I've absolutely petered out by the end. But luckily, looking at the sloping and actually trying to remember back, it was a nice slope downhill to start with, down to the far corner. So I think I'll let myself off this time. Now, this corner, the marshals had warned us in the past, can be quite muddy, and also talking to some other runners that have done this course before prior to today, they did mention that, yeah, it can be a bit difficult, especially when there's lots of people trying to get round at the same time. But luckily for me, it was dry, just a bit rutty, and I just had to watch my ankles. Just being overtaken by a Horsham jogger there. Also a massive turnout of them today as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for the white shirts as going round, and also keep an eye out for those blue shirts of the East Grinstead Running Club. So here is what I'd like to call the spaghetti junction of the course. Near the end of the race, there's people going left, right, back, forth, all over the place. And this is especially where I relied on the person in front of me knowing where they were going. Oh, and overtaken by a buggy dad. Great, great, great. Back at the start line now, and that is the smaller loop complete, ready to crack on with the 2 larger laps. Looking at my BPM, I can see that it's already at its threshold, which is not great, but I am holding a good pace, and hopefully this downhill section back round to the corner, I can get a bit of recovery put in. One kilometre done. So let's bring up the times. This first kilometre I have achieved a 4:52, so not too shabby for a day like this. Let's see if this can be maintained. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And also feel free to check out the other videos. I've done a couple of other parkrun showdowns, so feel free to check those out. And also comment below how you found these runs, or if there are any runs you want me to do next. As hoped through that previous section, my BPM has dropped ever so slightly, which is good, and the pace has continued at a nice steady pace, which I'm really happy with. As he says, it shoots up through the ceiling there. Ignore that. Just cracking out a couple of the first overtakes of the run and coming back up Spaghetti Junction. This time we're going to head left and start making our way over to that dreaded hill.
Cheers. Cheers.
Dog owner there nicely pulling over to let everyone through. There are quite a lot of dogs out and about today, either running round freely in the middle or on leads on the route. I did have a little bit of an incident with a dog near the end of this run, but you'll see that later. Cruising through to the 2 kilometre mark now, and after an initial climb we are at a 5 minute and 7 kilometre pace. But coming around this little corner here, we're going to come up to that hill, so rightly signed as you can see, which did make me chuckle. Albeit a very out of breath chuckle. And the slope hits around a 10% slope, as you can see there. It definitely felt like it, and there's quite a few people that struggled to get up here. And the worst thing was, knowing it was another lap, we had to do this all over again. I say struggle, that guy in the 100 shirt just powers straight past, putting me to shame.
See you in a bit.
Just taking in some of the lovely views there, and my heart rate is well on its threshold, 183, 184 there. I really need to sort of try and get that down now in the downhill section back down to the start. We're once again back at Spaghetti Junction. This time we're going to go round to the left, back to the start, so we can get going on that final big, large lap. I also forgot to say at the very beginning, James Cooper started the race today with us. A fairly famous local legend in the area who last year ran a marathon every day of the year for charity. So massive shout out. Crossing the line for the final and third lap, and we also conveniently crossed the 3 kilometre mark, so let's bring up that time. We have a 5 minute 25 kilometre, so we're getting slower each kilometre here, mainly because that hill is tiring me out, so let's hopefully see if the next one is a bit faster. Three and a half kilometres in now, and pretty much the only way is up. I've got to dig deep here because I've got to get up that big hill again, which I know is coming up. So hopefully we can keep that pulse down and hopefully keep that speed up. But we'll see, we'll see.
Cheers.
Back once again through Spaghetti Junction. guy in black there whizzing past, finishing his run for today. And also a quick burst of speed from myself there to get past the walker before we hit the narrow sections. Steady on, lads, slow down. Aw, shit. Here we go again. Yep, it's that hill. Let's see how we cope this time. The heart rate is already high. That's not good. The speed is slowing down. That's not good. Somehow the slope was up to 13% this time. It's apparently got steeper since the last time I was here. I think maybe the synchronization between my watch and the camera is slightly off. If anyone knows how to get that better, please let me know in the comments. Digging deep, refusing to walk like I did in the Wakehurst run. But yet we've made it to the top. We're good to go. Some very interesting breathing there. You all right, mate? While we're at the top of this hill, it is also the 4-kilometre mark. So for the second to last time, let's bring up those times. We've achieved a 5-minute 32 kilometre. A little bit slower yet again, but I think that hill definitely was the cause for it. So let's power on downhill and hopefully get a faster last kilometre. Let's go.
Sorry. Tooth joy. Go on, Mr. Magpie.
Little bit of superstition thrown in there. Hopefully that means I'm now going to be rapid for this last kilometre. After a fairly rapid downhill section, we're back for our last helping of Spaghetti Junction. But oh no! There are dogs on the track! Get out of the way!
Sorry.
Lovely bit of singing there. Now, I'm not great with dogs as it is sometimes. Well, strange dogs anyway. And when you see a dog on a muzzle like that, you're a little bit worried about running past. But luckily it doesn't really impact my time too much. So now we just power through now to the finish. Let's go! Nice rapid end there, and we'll bring up the final time on the board now. 5-minute 21. Not too shabby. So that was East Grinstead Parkrun. The run map there looks very compact. Well, it would be. It was 3 laps in a very small area. And an overall place of about 36th, which I think is good with the amount of East Grinstead Running Club and also Horsham Running Club people that were there. And as always, it's the moment we've been waiting for. The ranking scores. So we gave it a 7 for scenery. It was a fairly nice open field. There were no roads. And also there was that really pretty manor house at the top of the hill. Not that I really paid much attention to it while I was struggling. Difficulty or PB ability. Well, that hill does take a massive hit out of that score. So I gave it a 4. Route layout, it was fairly repetitive. I mean, it's 3 laps to the same area again and again. So again, we're giving it a 4. For facilities, we gave it a 7. There's a nice little car park with plenty of room at the East Grinstead Football Stadium, which is a very short walk around the corner. It also has a cafe at the end. We can get nicer drinks. And there's also a toilet block at the start line, so everything's there. For the X Factor, I gave it a 0. There wasn't a massive thing that stood out for me. And this gives us an overall score of 22 out of 40, or a 55%. A fairly middle-of-the-road park run, a good local one if you are in the area. But where does it put it in our standings, I hear you ask? Well, have no fear, that poorly made graphic is here. And yet, from that score of 22 out of 40, it does bring it into 3rd place. So it has a space on the podium for now. So that's it for this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and also check out my other videos. Please also feel free to comment below if you've done this run as well and how you found it. And also, yeah, give us some suggestions of where to go next. I'd love to hear them. But for now, we'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers, bye!